yeah, and then after me going to the community area, yeah, I think that's when the nurse and doctor came and explained to me everything that happened. So they found a stroke, they said, right, so I just thought quickly to get my pad. So I thought to get some information online. So yes, I was in bed, and the neurologist at the hospital and the junior doctors came around to see me, etc., to analyze me, to take whatever measurements they need to take from patients. So they then confirmed that I suffered a stroke, and the type of stroke that I suffered was ischemic stroke. I think that's what it's called, ischemic stroke, and that forms about 85% of all strokes, and this is caused by a blood vessel in the brain, blood clot, or fatty buildup. And then the second one is the hemorrhagic stroke. That's the one where caused by a burst blood vessel in the brain, leading to bleeding. And there are different subtypes for each stroke. And the third one is a transient ischemic attack, so which is a mini stroke caused by temporary blockage. Symptoms usually resolve within 24 hours, after minutes, warning, sign of possible major stroke. So the one that I had was the ischemic stroke, and the survival outcomes, general estimates for the ischemic, I'm not sure that I'm saying this right, ischemic stroke is about 85-90% survive the first month if treated promptly, and long-term survival 5 years is around 6% through though disability is common. I'm the one who's I've got some disabilities, and I'll go through disabilities which I've got. And then the second one is hemorrhagic stroke, much more serious. About 30-50% of patients die within the first month. Survivors often face significant disabilities. And the TI stroke, which is that what's it called again? The transient ischemic attack. Usually no permanent damage from TI itself, but 1 in 3 people have a full stroke even treated. So to go back, it was confirmed that I suffered a stroke. And they also found a vessel in my brain, they told me at the time at the hospital, where it's kind of bent, bent, and if not treated, if it's not managed, I could suffer an hemorrhagic stroke, a second stroke. Obviously, with everything going through at the time, I thought, my God, and I only had to suffer the stroke, and by the way, they mentioned that the stroke that I suffered was major. Obviously, it was major because I was completely paralyzed on the left side of my body, right? So it would be major. So then they told me as well, they hold the papers in front of me. They said I had this, what is it called again? All these terms, just I put them in a cupboard, in a closet in my brain, just locked them away for a while. So I'm trying to go back to them, because at the time I was so shocked. I was so, imagine being from going completely healthy to then they told you suffered a stroke. I've heard about many strokes in the past, but happening to me, healthy, always gone to the gym, always had my healthy meals, always had my green shakes in the morning, didn't drink. I used to drink, but not like I do now, do you see what I mean? Didn't smoke, always exercising. I was like the pinnacle of somebody who's healthy. Then there I was lying in bed, disabled. I could not move at all. So they didn't go in much detail. They just told me I also had this one of the veins in my brain is kind of bent, and it could create for me to have a hemorrhagic stroke where the vein explodes and then boom. And it's actually that's actually more common than people think. You know, when you heard somebody, that person was taking the bin out or was having a shower, just suddenly collapsed and died right there and then. That's because of that. So imagine what's going through my mind at the time. So obviously they started medicating me. By the way, by the time my husband already informed my family. So then my auntie, I won't tell her name, and my uncle, I won't tell his name. Essentially, he's not my blood uncle, he's the husband of my other auntie. My other auntie was in Angola and he happened to be here. So my other auntie husband, my other auntie was in Angola, and at the time my husband was here. So they drove up from London to see me. Obviously, it was the quarantine. Nobody allowed to go in. Nobody allowed to go in and see me at all. At all. I don't remember. They explained to me why it was him, my auntie's husband, who came to see me in our communal area. Now my auntie, I don't remember, but there was a reason. There's a specific reason. There was a specific reason. They came to see me, and I was sleeping, and then I opened my eyes. He was sat next to me, his head down, and I said his name. I'm gonna make his name up right now. I said John, and he looked up. I said, "Oh my God, my niece, you awake? Are you okay?" And then, oh my God, and then I don't remember how the conversation went, but essentially, I asked him how long I'm going to be like this. He said 6 months, and I shouted really loud, "I will not stay like this for 6 months." And by the way, that's him trying to make me feel a bit more optimistic about my situation, because he didn't want to say year, 2 years, whatever. He didn't want to say I was going to be like that forever. So he wanted to add some kind of positiveness into me, because obviously I was down. I was traumatized by the whole situation. So I said, "I'm not staying like this for 6 months. I am not staying like this for 6 months." He said, no, 3 months, 3 months. I said, "I will not stay like this for 3 months." He said, "Of course you won't." And then he chatted to me. He said they've been in contact with my son's, my husband's son's mother. I know it's really complicated, but I don't want to be mentioning any names. Actually, I've just said my stepson's mum. That's a lot easier, isn't it? What's wrong with me? They've been in contact with my stepson's mum. They swapped the house keys. They tried to collect some clothes for me. Honestly, the clothes I got brought me to hospital, and I feel so sorry for them, because literally at the time I had no clothes. So I decided back then to reduce all my clothes and shoes to one suitcase. So I felt so sorry for them, because I can imagine them going through the house and trying to find some clothes for me. There was no clothes at all, right? So he brought some clothes for me. These are the clothes we managed to get for you anyway. By the way, my stepson's mum, she's the one who gathered some clothes for me, and she put them in the bag and handed over to my uncle. So he said, "We bought some clothes for you," etc. We chatted for a bit, and I could honestly see him struggling to put this happy face, this positive face. By the way, this guy is one of the most amazing people I've ever met my whole life. So positive, so giving, so lovely. He's got such a good heart. And at the time of my recovery, you'll see how he was that pivotal pillar for me to get better. You know, it was so, that guy is so amazing. He is so amazing, so amazing. So he left really being like feeling down. I could see he wanted to cry, but he had his positive. He just tried to exuberate as much of positiveness out of himself as possible. So yeah, so then I don't remember how the conversation went. I think I fell back asleep again. When I woke up, he wasn't there anymore. My aunt didn't go to see me at the hospital. I don't know why. Oh, did she? Oh no, she did. Did she? I think she did temporarily. Or I think she did. I was sleeping, so I didn't actually get to see her. I don't recall that, you know. I think she did. I think she went to see me, and but I was sleeping. Yes, I think that's the case. So off they went. Off they went. Then the next day, by the way, I was completely shocked. When he left the hospital, I was like, I'm not staying like this. And then it makes sense. Now, I just had the thought why I kept falling asleep, kept waking up. Everything was like, oh, you know, when you open your eyes, people are there, everything's really hazy. It's like looking at inside it's like being a fish inside a fish tank, you know, everything's like that. Is it concave shape? Yeah, everything's a bit, yeah, it's a bit like that. But yeah, so then I went to sleep again. I slept so much. And now I know why, because my body was trying to recover. Everything, all the whys were trying to reconnect again. So I went to sleep that day. Following day I woke up. I had tubes all over me, gas mask, I had everything. I had gas, oxygen mask, I had tubes, whatever, everything inside me, left, right and center. And then the next day, my brother-in-law was there. Lovely guy at the time. Honestly, he's not that lovely all the time. They've got his different issues. But I blame him being an artist. So he was once, when he was in university, was prized this really famous recognition UK for poets, and he's the youngest one who's ever won that poetry award for being the youngest one. So it was so lovely. He turned up with me with some pajamas, some fruit, a nightgown. That was lovely. I still worn that pajama, the bottom ones at least, and the top ones until I think last year. They turned into rags essentially. I spoke to him very briefly, just sat next to me, said, your eyes too hard, whatever, you know, trying to be really positive again. And then he went. And that's it. I remember me looking at the ceiling, and I thought, by the time it was dark actually, no, sorry, that happened on the same day that my uncle told me that I was going to be like that for 6 months and 3 months. As I said initially, please forgive me, I need to go back and correct the stories. So my uncle left, it was evening, and I needed to go to loo, and I couldn't move at all to go to loo. But I said to myself, I will not call anybody to come and help me at all, right? So I dragged myself out of bed, collapsed on the floor, trying to take myself to loo. The nurses picked me up, said, how can we help you? I said, I'd like to go to loo. They said, don't worry, we're gonna bring, you know those cardboard thing, so you can have a wee or poo, whatever you want to have in there. Don't worry, I'm gonna give you one. Don't worry about what you've done. Carry on doing it. Don't worry, we're here to support you. Don't feel embarrassed about we're in a bed. If you're in a bed, we'll change the bed for you. So boom, I'll wait in there. And they say, by the way, you're gonna leave one here, fresh one on the side. If you want to use it, reach it out, ring the bell, we come and get you clear out for you. Amazing. In the middle of the night, I felt like going to again. I looked at myself, thought to myself, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to take myself to loo. Middle of the night again. Me trying to move. Remember, my brain is trying to reconnect. Every single movement that I make, every single move, every single thing that I do, my brain is realigning itself. The connections are being made again. So, middle of the night, I tried to go to again, collapsed. However, managed to drag myself a little bit, just a little bit. The nurses came and picked me up, put me in bed. Don't worry, we're here for you. By the way, the head nurse was giving them the sign. Let her do whatever she's got to do. Don't interfere at all. That's fine. I went to bed the whole night. Woke up. By the way, I had that tube. I think saline water. I'm not sure, where there's gold salts and sugars and everything to feed. I had one of them. So sometimes that would even snap off my hand. They can't reconnect it again. Sorry, I just had to go and check the food. So it's in life stages now. Anyway, yeah. So where was I? So yes, I woke up in the morning, all tubed up again. Want to go to loo. I thought, right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. The curtains are shut. What did the curtains shut? I'm not sure whether the curtains are shut or not, or they're open. So I tried to get out of bed. Boom! This big bang. It was me. The nurses came running. They tried to pick me up. I looked at them. I saw the head nurse, the assistant nurse essentially. They even boss the doctors in UK. They're the bosses of the doctors. They have so many years in training. Essentially, I think all they've got to do is just do one exam to become a doctor, because some of them are so incredibly knowledgeable. And so, and I saw this stern woman looking at what's happening. And all the other junior nurses, junior or medium nurses, I'm not sure, experienced nurses, some of them are junior when training, they're on their way to rush to help me. And I saw the head nurse say, stop. They looked at the head nurse and said, let her do whatever she's got to do. And they just stood there. So I crawl myself nearly all the way out to the communal care unit. By the way, I think, looking back, I think all the patients now that in that wing were all stroke patients. And if I look back, I was the youngest one by like 40, 30 years. At the time I was 40, I'd only just turned 40 in July, and the stroke was in September. Oh, it's raining. I was thinking of going for a walk, but thank God I didn't because it's raining. And it's cold again today, it's grey as anything. So I was the youngest by a mile, so they didn't connect the tubes to me that time. They said, let her do her thing, and then when she comes back, we'll connect her up again. Oh, so I was nearly out of the communal area. I could see my right side kind of trying to give in, move. I thought, I can see some movement in here. So I didn't make it all the way out because it was slow. It seemed like forever, so I just gave up there, and then boom, weed in there on the floor. So they came help me, they changed me, they reconnect me to all the tubes, to the oxygen mask, everything like that, and they kept reassuring to me. So, you're fine. Don't worry. You're doing so great. Carry on whatever you're doing. And then, so I carried on like that for 3 to 4 days. On the third day, right? On the third day, me trying, going to the bathroom, I dragged myself all the way to the bathroom. I didn't walk. I was kind of crawling on my fours, like, you see, crawling one side like this, because I struggled, but I took myself there. I climbed to the loo. I had a wee. Fine. I carried on like that day. Fourth day, I made the best progress. Oh, by the way, the third or fourth day, a physiotherapist came to see me with the program, like, honestly, like a month program, me at the hospital. How long she's going to see me for, how many times a day, a month program, because I was literally disabled in bed. And the type of stroke that I've had, what it was, which you're going to find out later, you realize how the progress I made was incredible. Like, it was like my neurologist couldn't even believe the recovery that I made. But I'm going to get into that later on. So then, fourth day, me struggling. Third day, crawling. Fourth day, I could see my right hand was a lot more like it was, moving a bit. So I took myself out of bed. I did not collapse, but I was collapsing the previous days over and over, me trying over and over again. So fourth day, at the hospital, I took myself to the bathroom. No, it wasn't that day, no. The fourth day I carried on struggling. No wires, nothing. A fourth day, there's even one time I nearly got up. No, I actually got up. I just dragging my, I was standing up, but I was dragging my right body, like literally like, just staying balanced. Only one side of my body, only the left side of my body was keeping me up, essentially. Yeah, that's right. Fifth day came. Trying all day. Every time I want to go to loo, the nurse would just keeping their eyes on me to make sure I didn't hurt myself, right? So then, fifth day came. Tried again. I tried again, right? And then I could see that my right side was gaining some strength. And that strength is gaining was from the previous day, me exercising it, me making my brain, the signals in my brain to start reconnecting and flashing up, sending the message, the communication to my body, etc. I could feel that happening, obviously in my brain. I could feel my body reacting to it. Literally, I could feel my body reacting to it. So then on the fifth day, I then got up, by the way. I already seen physiotherapist, the whole program for the whole month. I'm going to see twice a day. We're going to do this exercise. Fifth day came. I took myself to the bathroom. I could, with a support on my right body, no full support at all, honestly, no full support. Trust me, I'm not exaggerating. Perhaps to you, I'm being like, oh, she could stand right side. No, I couldn't. I could not at all. I couldn't at all. So perhaps I'm over. What's the word? Over. What's the word again? over, not compensating, not being over positive. Perhaps I'm being like giving it too much that of what actually was, because you can see the excitement on my face. I hope that on that day I could get my left side could at least get some support from my right side. But that support was so minimal, but at the same time was such a great achievement to me. Such a great achievement. So I went there, not having showered for 5 days, not having washed for 5 days, you know, not even brushed my teeth for 5 days. And you know me, I'm sure you've noticed I like to have a shower twice a day. My husband tells me I'm too much and exaggerate. I said, well, you don't know, in the past when I was a teenager I used to have a shower at least 3 times a day, so 2 days is not bad, and some days I have a shower only once a day. So 5 days without washing, without brushing my teeth or anything like that. Then 6th day came. 6th day. By the 5th day, all the tubes also gone because of me collapsing in bed, whatever. 6th day came. I woke up in the morning, said, right. I was so focused on this. I was like, right, today we're going to wake up. We're going to walk into the shower. We're going to brush our teeth. And we're also going to shower. That was my objective that day. And nobody could get that off my head at all. That was I was going to do. That's it. So I grabbed the dripping thing, the drip, I'm not sure. With the tube, everything attached. Obviously there was a bit of support. And I dragged myself to the bathroom. I could hold, can you see? I could hold with my right hand the pole, with the wheels, with the dripping bag, everything attached to me. My grip wasn't that hard, but at least I could, it was strong enough that I could drag it just using my right hand without support my left hand. By the way, my right hand couldn't do very much. It couldn't do very much. But to me, that was such a big achievement. And my right leg couldn't really walk very well. But it could support, it could provide some form of support to my left side of my body. So I dragged myself. I locked the door. Obviously I locked the door, but it was such a lock in such a way that only nurses got access, not other patients. So the nurse, if anything happened, nurses could walk in. And honestly, when I locked that door, I undressed myself, and me trying to undress myself, I collapsed in there. And I nearly knocked my head in the loo. But that's fine, because I kind of protected my head, took everything, I just collapsed back. I'm not sure if the nurses had the bang or not. Sometimes some nurse came and why am I sitting that anyway? Some nurse came and knocked on my door and said, "Are you alright? Are you alright?" Yes, said I'm alright. Do you need any help? No, I'm fine. Okay, we're here, we're outside. If you need any help, just ring that bell. We're gonna come and check you every so often, every 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So I got up from the floor, had a shower, brushed my teeth, dried myself, washed my face. That did not take an hour. That did not take half an hour. That took about an hour to do all of that. A simple task of just taking my clothes off, have a quick shower, brush my teeth, and wash my face. Perhaps it was even way longer than an hour. So I dried myself, went to my bed, back to my bed. That's 6th day, right? I think I'm on 6th day. Remember, my memory is not so good. All I know, I stayed in the hospital for 7 days. When I was meant to stay in the hospital at least a month. Me having looked at the program that was presented to me. And then, Yeah, where was I? Yeah, so I went to bed, had a shower, ate some food. Yes, and then, by the way, I've got an uncle who's pretty kind of loaded. In Portugal, he's organising an helicopter and a private jet to come and collect me from the UK to take me to Portugal, because honestly the medical care in Portugal is top. Honestly, I'm not just saying because I'm from there, it's top, right? And then but again, on the 6th day, my uncle came he came to see me in the evening, and then I said to him, I need to go to the loo. And he said, oh, do you want me to get out here? I've fallen us. No, I'll go to the loo by myself. I said, what? Are you going to do what? I'm going to go to the loo by myself. I said, he said this fish look at his face. He said, okay. And I got out of bed, and his face was like, oh, what's going on here? And he got his camera out and he recorded me walking into the toilet, the loo, bathroom, the loo, without any support. He was like, and he sent the whole message to my family. So by then my uncle cancelled all this me being collected in UK by private jet. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't going to do. That's what it was informed to me. When I left hospital, my uncle was preparing a private jet to come and collect me from the UK and take me to Portugal. However, once he saw me walking, he cancelled that because he thought there's no need. She's not as bad as I thought she was. Which to me at the same time, one side of me I was a bit like disappointed. At the same time, I think that's a good sign, because it means I recovered so much in those few days. So much, you won't even believe. So then, yeah, so that's the 6th day. The 7th day came in the morning. So I was walking fine. I mean, that's all that happened. Just me trying, eating some food. My brother-in-law came to visit me the second time in one of the days. He brought me some food, some cake, some biscuits, you know, because you know what hospital food is like. You know, it's got no salt, no pepper, no nothing. And got a funny story to tell you. So I'm going to digress a bit. I am going to digress. So I was talking to my husband the other day, and I said, listen, I understand now why food in hospice got no flavour at all, because they've got to cater for so many types of patients. So it's best not to add any flavour to it, because one patient could be allergic to this, the other allergic to that, whatever. They're dealing with so many health issues. It's best just leave the food as bland as possible. He turned to me, no, there's no reason for that at all. I said, okay. It's English, by the way. If you tell me there's no reason for it to be bland at all, I was trying to find some justification of why a hospital keeps the food bland. I'm not sure, but that's my justification. That's what I've been thinking about. I think the hospitals keep food bland for a reason. And all over the world, every single world, people moan about the food at their hospitals. You know, food is banned, so there you go. So my brother-in-law took me some fruit cookies, biscuits, and things like that. So yeah, so 7th day came. The physiotherapist came and see me in the morning. We did some physiotherapy sessions. I was like doing it, yeah, look at me doing it. And remember, I was struggling to do everything. If you ask me whether I was alright, so yes, I'm great. Whether I was not alright because I could not accept whether my body wasn't working right, whether it's painful to do something, I could not just accept. I blanked everything. So in my brain, I'm fine, I'm normal, nothing happened to me. Even though I used to walk like, you know, what do you call Is it crippling quick? I'm not sure. I still walk like that. Not as much, you know. But when I stand in the kitchen, I'm still a bit crippled. Yeah, I saw like literally a crippled person because I was a crippled person. But I was not accepting that at all. Did not accept it at all. So right, where was I? Yeah, so then yeah, we had an hour session in the morning, and it's like, right, I'm gonna go come and see you later on today, and then tomorrow again. I said, that's great, fantastic. However, at 1 o'clock, the doctor came in and assessed me, obviously with reports from the nurse, because the nurses are watching you on there. They're watching, they're taking notes so they can report to the doctor, especially the senior nurse, the sister nurse. She needs to sign on the report, so they're taking notes. How's the patient doing? It's about 1 o'clock after me having lunch. Actually, just before having lunch, I could see the nurse looking at me with that smile, cheeky smile on their face. You're right, yes, I'm right, great. They had a cheeky smile on their face at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The ward doctor, the senior doctor of that ward, came to see me, though, again, though, with these minions, with these junior doctors, medium doctors, you know, doctors in trainee, whatever. He came to assess and say, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. So he said to me, essentially, I'm going to sign this paper. Only if you want me to, you can go home today. You can go home anytime today. The rate of recovery that you've made is unbelievable. In my whole life of being a neurologist, I've not seen anybody who is like, it's magic. He said to me, it's like magic. I've not seen anything like this in my whole life. And he said, it's all down to you and to you only, right? Because the type of stroke that you had and where it was, you shouldn't even be moving right now. You shouldn't be talking. You should be asleep. You should be sleeping. Like you shouldn't be aware of anything that's going on. And now you're actually walking. He said, honestly, I hope you can hear me out because the rain is getting louder. I said, honestly, it is a miracle. And that miracle was created by you and you only. You know, maybe you've got somebody who's looking after you. Somebody out there in the sky, in the universe, you know, in heaven. But I've never seen this sort of miracle ever in my life. In my had many years of being a doctor, I don't remember him saying that. So he said, you can go home today, you can go home tomorrow. It's after I'm signing this paper for you to go home. And I said, right. I said, if you just speak to one of the nurses, they will tell you they're gonna take it from this moment on. And I thought this, when you told me that, it was like a dream. Actually, it was literally like a dream, because all this passage of me suffering a stroke to that point, everything is still really dreamy to me, like really dreamy. It didn't seem like reality at all. I've been in hospital before in the past and everything seemed like reality. But from the moment I suffered the stroke to that moment, to many months later, everything seemed extremely dreamy to me. It's like I was in a dream. I've got 15 batteries charged left on my phone, so I'm gonna hurry up a bit. I'm gonna carry on in part 3 anyway. It seemed like a dream to me. So I was like, is this really what's happening? But inside me, I was so relieved, I was so happy. Oh my God, I can't believe you made it. You made it, you know, if you made this recovery in these few days, God knows it's gonna happen. Me thinking all to myself. And then the nurse, after the doctor left, the nurse came over. She said, right, what would you like to do? I said, if you get in touch with my uncle and my auntie, if they're in Norwich, I'd like to go home today. Or if they're available even to pick me up, I'd like to go home today. If you speak to them and arrange with them, I'll go home whenever they're available. And then my phone is always turned on. Oh, by the way, I spoke to different people. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say this next time, because as I'm talking to you, different things keep coming up to my mind. So actually, I'll tell you now, and then we end the call. Then I'll carry on. What's the next step once he came to pick me up at the hospital? So anyway, at the hospital, I received many messages from people at work. Wish me all the best. Actually, my husband actually phoned my workplace on a Monday because I suffered a stroke on a Saturday. He phoned my workplace on a Monday to communicate, which I'm going to go into as well later on. I didn't know at the time. Actually, I didn't know at the time. Many of my colleagues had my private number. They sent me messages, say, "Sam, is this really happened to you? Please don't tell me this happened to you. We want to wish you all the best." I received phone calls from my family, friends, not friends actually, no, friends from my husband's side, because he communicated with everybody what happened to me. None of my friends, my personal friends, knew what happened to me. So I received so many phone calls. So then the nurse went, she spoke to my aunt, my uncle, and my uncle phoned my private phone, said, "Listen, would you like to go home today or tomorrow? Let me know. I'm in London right now. I can drive up to London. From London, I can pick you up. I'm going to be there in about 2.5 hours, 3 hours, no problem. Just tell me and I'll be there." And I said, "No, that's alright. It's too much work for you." He said, "No, I'll be there. I don't care. You're the most important person right now." Honestly, he is the most amazing guy. And this part, so much so for this part of the story of my life, I want to dedicate to him. 100%, I'd like to dedicate this to him. You know you are. You're one of my auntie's husbands. You know you are. Your name starts with an L, and I'm saying this just some other people don't think is it. You know you are. You know you are. You are the most amazing. I feel like tearing up. You are one of the most amazing persons I've ever met. We're not even blood related. And the way you've always been towards me, especially when I suffered a stroke, you've been the most supportive, most caring, most dad-like person to me. Even more than a dad, you've been a friend, you've been everything to me. So thank you, honestly, thank you. Thank you. So then he said, "Listen, I can pick you up now, just tell me." I said, "Okay, then that's alright, I'd much rather go home, because you know what, the comfort of our home is the best." And that's what he said to me. There's no better place for you to be at your home, you know. A hospital, okay, you've got doctors and nurses around you, but I'm sure you're not feeling comfortable there. So yes, just come and pick me up. And then I told the nurse, "Yeah, I'm gonna go today. My uncle's coming to pick me up. He's gonna be here in about 3 hours or so." And yeah, so the nurse informed everybody. And then later on, the neurologist on my ward came with the prescription of what I had to take, the medicine 3 times a day, 4 times a day. I mean, honestly, the amount of tablets, the variety they gave to me, the quantity, I was like, what? They gave stamin, something like that for cholesterol. Really strong. Oh my God, so strong. They gave me about 4 or 5 types of different prescriptions to take 3 times a day. Obviously, me being me, I didn't question anything. I was there by myself. Then my uncle came to pick me up. She explained, the doctor, this neurologist doctor, explained everything to him. So packed my things, ready to go home. And then my uncle was like, "Right, let me carry you." I turned to him and said, "You're not carrying me. You're not carrying me at all. I'm taking myself to the car. Full stop. Alright, I'm taking myself to the car. Nobody's touching me. Thank you very much." Obviously, I wasn't being rude like that. I just like, please let me do this by myself. He said, of course you can do this by yourself. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm here. I'm here next to you. He's like, vouch, I'm here next to you. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Honestly, he's the most amazing person I've ever met. Then yes, so I grabbed my bag. No, he actually grabbed my bag, grabbed my things, and he was walking kind of next to me, but kind of behind me. Just he positioned himself in such a way, if something was to happen in first class, he will take me. He wouldn't allow that to happen. So yeah, I remember I was walking from the hospital to the car, and yeah, to me that day was a good day, but at the same time sad, because he started not new, but a different stage in my life. Yeah. So that's the end of part 2 of the day that I suffered the stroke. If you're somebody who suffered a stroke, what can I say? I was going to say it's not the end of the world, because it's difficult for me to say that, because even right now I feel like this. So what I'm going to say is the following. Feel positive as much as possible. Embrace those around you. Don't feel scared of doing anything, because that's something that suffering a stroke made me. Not being afraid of anything. If I die tomorrow, I die tomorrow. Sorry, I said something perhaps going to make me, it's going to cancel this video on YouTube again. If something happens to me tomorrow, then what's going to happen is going to happen, you know. And then right now I don't feel my stroke was so bad as it was, but you're gonna find out later on. Maybe not in part 3, maybe in part 4, because later on, following me having the stroke, I found out that my stroke was a lot worse than I knew. So where I could actually end up in a different world. So yeah, for you who had the stroke, or please carry on being positive. Please carry on fighting. Even though you've been in a wheelchair or in a bed for years, you still have money. You still have time to connect to reattach the connections in your brain, because our brain is so plastic. It's about how much effort we want and how much eager we want for our lives to move forward and for positive things to happen. And I believe, actually was confirmed to me, that's what made me get up and walk within 7 days of me suffering the stroke. It was because I was so strong in my beliefs. I've always been this person. There's a word gone. There's this term where I've just been extremely focused on certain things, and one of the things I've always been focused on is not being physically weak, and that's what made me fight that bed, the leg, my right side. I didn't want to move. My speech, because even at the time I couldn't really speak. Right now I'm moaning that I remember words. I can't say certain words in the right way. Sometimes my accent goes funny. For example, me reading the type of stroke that I had, I struggle through that. I really do. Even though English is my second language, if you were to hear me before I suffered a stroke, nobody wouldn't believe I wasn't English, or British at least. So yeah, please stay positive. Look after your mental health, because my mental health really nearly went downhill after me suffering a stroke, which I'm going to go through again. I'm not sure in which part, because as I said, I'm going through this as I remember, as it happened, because I don't want to go back and forth, because I want to feel the same emotions I did at the time. So feel, honestly, look after your mental health, look after yourself. Lean on those around you. I didn't lean so much on those around you, as much as I should have, as much as I could. So please do that. Yeah, that's the message I want to pass to you today. Look after yourself. And yes, again, the other message I want to send out today is for this uncle of mine, who, the most beautiful person at heart I've never met. Honestly, I've never met anybody my whole life like him. He's an angel. And I'm sure, I hope, when he's not in this world anymore, when he's 90, 100 years old, I hope, you know, he's going to become a saint. Because that's what he is. He's a saint. Alright then, it's time for me to go. My phone is about to go right now. So if you like this video, the content, how I told the stories, please click like and subscribe. Please do. Next week, Saturday and Sunday, I'm not sure which of 2 days is going to be. I'm going to record again. So I think you may see this Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not sure, because this gets uploaded, I guess, released on YouTube 48 hours later. I've uploaded on YouTube Studio. So please click like, subscribe. Have a nice afternoon, evening, morning, tea, breakfast, lunch, dinner, tea. I'll repeat again, tea. Yeah, so have a nice day. Happy Sunday. If you're not Sunday for you, happy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Happy whatever day it is to you. But for me today, thank you so much for listening to me. And yeah, have a good day. Bye. By the way, click like and subscribe. Click like and subscribe. Please do that. Hi. Happy Sunday. How are you? So here is currently 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So lunch, dinner is currently getting ready. It's being cooked. So I thought to take this opportunity to tell you the part 2 of the stroke that I suffered. So it's going to be many parts. This is only part 2. I won't go about how I'm feeling today, or on a personal level, because I think I'm going to leave that for tomorrow, because today is only to be focused on the part 2 of the stroke. So I hope you've been looking forward to today's what? My mind just goes blank like this, sorry. Today's format, today's material. I'm sure there's a better word than material. I'm not sure how long it's going to last, because as I've said, I'm cooking right now. And I hoped, by the way, you enjoyed the video yesterday. I'm not very good at get on ready with me, you know. I'm not, it's the first time I've done it on a video, recording myself. I'm going to go through it tomorrow as well. So anyway, part 2 of me suffering the stroke. So where did I leave out? Oh my god, did you hear that noise? A bird on top of the conservatory. I think it's a dove, a pigeon, don't know, some people call it dove, some people call it pigeon. I'm not sure they're different or the same, but they look pretty much the same to me. Just sorry, thank you. Just screamed like anything. That made me really jump. Sorry, I hope I'm not developing a cold. So part 2, I left it, I believe, the I was being put in the ambulance, and yeah. So as I being put in the ambulance, I had my phone with me. I didn't let my phone go. on my left side, obviously, because my right side was completely paralyzed. And honestly, I do not remember. I don't recall the journey at all from my house to the hospital. All I just remember being there, these really bright lights shining to my face, and I got taken to the back of the hospital where the emergency patients go to, and then a nurse came immediately to see me, said, "Are you okay?" etc. Said, "You're going to have to wait here. We're going to have to do some examinations on you." And honestly, I remember me feeling really hazy, not sure what's going on, but at the same time, me being like, you know, because I've always been kind of a get-goer, you know, nothing ever puts me down, nothing ever collapses me. I've always had that kind of a superwoman personality, and in a way of me being. So to me, that hasn't always been a great thing to be and to have, because I never allowed any emotional problems, health problems to knock me down, never. So one side of me was feeling really hazy, vulnerable, and the other one, no, what the heck is going on here? I didn't have a stroke, whatever. So I phoned my husband immediately. He said, "Salvi, you know, phone, what's going on?" I said, "I'm at the hospital right now, so I'm waiting in a room to do some examinations, and then I'm just trying to recall examinations." And then he said, "Are you alright? Are you okay?" Be funny, yes. He said, "I need to phone your family. Who should I phone?" I said, "Okay, phone my sister, and then she'll communicate to the rest of the family." He said, "All right." And he said, "Salvi, I'm in the hotel right now. Shall I go back home?" Because he was confused when she got, because that was his first gig working, and he could see he's having a battle within himself. "Shall I go back home? My wife just suffered a stroke. I don't know what to do at the same time. My family could be with her. Salvi, I don't know what to do." I could see he was confused. And I said, "Listen, just go to work. Just go offshore. Don't worry about me. Even if my family cannot come and see me, I'm sure the hospital won't just throw me out on the streets." Do you see what I mean? At least the hospital have sent me a carer, I hope. And he said, "Are you sure, Salvi? Are you sure? I really want to go home. I really want to be with you, etc. But at the same time, it's my first gig. I'm not sure what to." I said, "Listen, just go. Just go offshore." I don't remember what we talked about anymore. I don't remember. Me still holding really strong to my phone. We hung the call up, and then I know they phoned my sister, communicated to everybody. He phoned his mum and dad, his sister, his brother, communicated as many people as he could. And people spoke to me later on. He said he was feeling exasperated. He was blaming himself for I had the stroke. And I'll go back to it later, because there's so many parts on this story that I'm going to go back. At the moment, I'm just following the trajectory that I went through when I had the stroke, and then later on, after I had the stroke, that's when I started analyzing what happened a few days before I suffered the stroke, right? So then, I was sat there. I was lying there in a bed at hospital. I don't know how long I waited for. So, and then the nurse came to see me. I think she was a Portuguese nurse, because I remember looking at her badge and her physical look and her accent. I thought, I'm sure she's Portuguese anyway. By the way, Portuguese nurses and doctors are the top. They even know, I think Portugal is known to be the top 10 country in the whole world for having the best medical care. And I'm telling you, that country is poor, especially, okay, it's a European country, but it's still a poor country. It's top, you know, even over there. They're passionate about what they do, because things don't come easy over there. So the level of care and the attention and detail that they go through is unbelievable. So anyway, I digressed again. As you know, I love digressing. So then, yeah, so I went to there, and she came back, right, use your time now to go to this, what's it called, that machines? The machines where they scan the whole body, the brain, especially the brain. What's it called? What's it called, that machine? I'm sure you know which one, that goes around and it looks like a spaceship, and the bed just rolls in, and everybody's got to leave the room because it's so dangerous because of the radio frequency or the weight, something like that. It could cause health problems, and that's why they only use it at crucial times. What's the name of the machine? Hang on. Honestly, since I had suffered a stroke, my memories, you know, I'm sure if you've noticed since you've been watching my videos, simple things, I just forget simple words, and then it comes back again, just like that, you know. So anyway, I went through this machine. Obviously it was 5 years ago, so obviously my memory also goes a little hazy, because the longer it goes, the more it's kind of up in the air. So I'm just picking up bits and bobs. I'm not sure whether it's because it was 5 years ago, or it's because I was shocked, or it's because my memory is bad. I don't recall that anyway. So then I went through this machine. They scanned me. Then at the time they just asked me whether I was alright or not. I'm not. And they scanned me, and then they didn't read the results out to me. I don't remember where they took me, whether it's in a special room or not. So essentially they injected this this needle. I'm not sure they were there, I'm not sure, or I don't remember, but I know what they did. They injected the liquid, that would make the nodule, the blood nodule on my brain, split into different pieces. By that time I didn't know what was happening. I was then explaining this to me later. Perhaps I shouldn't say this to you now, or this. So because, as I said, I'm going to go through as things went along, and then I got to find out about things anyway. So forget about what I've just said about them inserting liquid into my veins or to my brain, whatever. So they said, right, we're going to take you to this room. We're going to inject this here. Don't worry about it. I don't even recall whether they told me it was because I suffered a stroke or not. I don't recall it at all. Which is because they're trying to rush me as fast, as quickly as possible. And they took me to, yeah, I don't remember, it was a room where I was staying for the rest of the week at the hospital. Yeah, so they injected me to this, and I don't remember very much. Next thing I remember, because I think I used to go fall asleep, wake up, fall asleep, wake up, at the same time being really hyperactive. I want to see everything that was happening around me, but at the same time I used to go back to sleep and wake up. That's why I think it happened. I'm not sure. Yeah, and the next thing I remember, they took me to this common area where I'm sure it's the same all over the world in hospitals, where all the patients stay. They've got several beds, one opposite each other, where the nurses, I mean, separate wings, separate rooms, but with several beds. I remember now. So when they injected me like that liquid, I think they took me to a bed, to a room where it was just me there. And then when they thought I was okay, then they took me to that communal care area. I think that's what happened. So I'm just trying to pieces. I'm just trying to piece all the pieces together, because obviously I'm going to stop now, try to remember, try to go back, because I don't have this written anywhere. So yeah, so I've been taken to that communal area,